Today we'll be watching a video called Life as a Medieval Torturer. I keep making videos on this topic, so if you like it, just let me down it in the comments and I will make more videos like this. Let's start watching it.
You're born in 14th century Europe into what they call a cursed bloodline. Not cursed enough to die young, not blessed enough to escape your fate. Just stuck in the middle of nowhere with a destiny even the devil begs to pass on. Your mother spends her days praying for your soul before you even know you need saving. Your father, he's always gone, doing work that makes grown men wet themselves with fear. Then you hit age 2. Congratulations, you've beaten the plague and starvation. But surviving childhood...
First, everything what I know about it is just, it's a worse job, maybe the worst one in the time just in our world for now, but it's pretty bad, I think.
might be the worst thing that ever happens to you. By age 4, you start noticing the whispers. People don't just avoid your house. They make the sign of the cross when they walk past it. Your mother never takes you to the market, never lets you play with other kids. She says it's because of wild animals. You're starting to think the real animals walk on 2 legs and throw rocks at your windows. Then, one day, curiosity kills more than just the cat. You sneak out to the village square and see a crowd gathered around a wooden platform. They're screaming, begging, the smell of blood and fear. And there, holding a strange metal device, is a man in a dark hood. The crowd parts when he walks by, some spitting, others just staring in horror. That's when you see it, your father's face under that hood. That night, you corner him. Your father sits you down, pulls off his gloves. His hands are scarred and stained, and tells you the truth.
At this moment, this man finally understands who his father is. His father is this torturer who doesn't leave anyone alive, who is needed to die. Oh my god.
Every dream you'll ever have. Your father is a torturer. When someone steals bread, speaks against the Lord, or looks at a priest wrong, they bring him to your father. His job? To hurt them until they confess to things they might not have even done. But wait, it gets worse. See, nobody applies for this job. This is not fair when just a person that didn't do anything, but this father thinks that he did something, and this person is able to die at this day when he just didn't do anything. When this person thought that that man did something, but he doesn't care about it, if it's true or not. Nobody wakes up thinking, gee, I'd love to spend my life breaking people's fingers for a living. Which means there's only one way people become torturers. They're born into it. Your grandfather was a torturer. His father before him. And his father's father? You guessed it. This isn't just some family business.
This is just endless
It's a family curse. And guess what? You just inherited it.
Skip it.
Once, maybe becoming a farmer, growing things instead of destroying them, maybe a merchant, traveling to far-off places where nobody knows your name.
No one didn't pay me.
Maybe even a priest, saving souls instead of damning your own. But none of that matters now. The city won't let you do anything else. You're marked, branded, cursed from birth to follow in daddy's bloody footsteps. Age 8, training begins. And by training, I mean learning how to clean up after human suffering. You start by sharpening the tools. Pliers for pulling teeth, screws for crushing thumbs, ropes for the strappado. Each tool has a purpose.
Yo, can you just imagine if this all just would happen in our century? Oh, hell no. How would it be? Just incredible, I don't know. It's so cool that we live in our century, in 21st one. But there was only 14th. Oh, hell no. 7 centuries ago, and we live in such a good one. We developed so good.
Each purpose involves screaming. Before you can touch human flesh, your father tosses you a pile of animal bones. Pig femurs, goat ribs, cow skulls. Break them clean, he commands. Understand how muscles, sinew, and bone react under strain. You spend weeks cracking livestock remains, learning the precise pressure needed to shatter without killing. The stench of rotting meat clings to your clothes as you master this grotesque craft on dead animals first. You learn to oil the rack so it doesn't squeak when it stretches people apart. You clean blood off stone floors until your hands are raw, scrubbing with buckets of vinegar, the only thing that cuts through the overwhelming reek of sweat, feces, blood, and decomposing flesh that clings to dungeon stones. The acidic smell burns your nostrils. but it's better than the alternative stench of human despair. The smell never leaves your clothes. Iron, blood, fear, sweat, and something else you can't name but makes your stomach turn. Your
And you
mother
always
tries
smell
washing
bad.
your clothes 3 times, but that smell? It's not coming
You
out.
always smell bad.
Month 9, your father decides you're ready to watch. A man is brought in, accused of stealing grain during harvest. He's crying, begging, swearing on his mother's grave that he's innocent. Your father doesn't care. Innocent or guilty, your father's job is to make the man confess. That's what the law wants. Confession. Your father starts with the thumb screws, small metal devices that look harmless until they start crushing bone. The man's screams are so loud you think your ears might bleed. You want to look away, but your father's watching you, making sure you don't flinch. This is your future. This is what you'll do every day for the rest of your life.
How these instruments with ships, with just spikes, may not be harmful, may not be harmless. It just looks very
The man
harmless.
confesses after his third finger
And the
breaks.
effect
He
is
admits to stealing grain he never stole. Names
harmful.
people who don't exist, just to make the pain stop.
looks harmful,
Another successful day at the
and the
office.
effect is
You're
harmful
12
too.
now, and the real education begins. Your father hands you the pliers and points to a prisoner's mouth. Start with the back teeth, he says casually. They're easier to grip. You hesitate. The prisoner looks at you with desperate eyes. Your father's hand lands on your shoulder. Not gentle. Warning. You do it now, or I do it to you later, he whispers. But there's more to fear than just his wrath. Cross the church, harm the wrong noble, or let a prisoner die before confession and they'll burn us both alive, he adds grimly. You've heard the stories. Torturers who disobeyed orders or showed unauthorized cruelty found themselves on the same pyres they once prepared for heretics. Your first tooth extraction takes forever. Your hands shake. The prisoner passes out from the pain before you're halfway done. Your father shakes his head. Sloppy work. We'll practice until you get it right. And you do practice, on prisoner after prisoner, until pulling teeth becomes as natural as brushing your own. Age 15 brings anatomy lessons. You learn where to cut for maximum pain without killing. How long someone can hang before their shoulders pop out. How many turns of the rack it takes to make someone beg. You discover that fear is often more effective than pain. Sometimes just showing someone the tools makes them talk. The human imagination fills in all the terrible ideas you don't even have to mention. Your father introduces you to the Iron Maiden, a human-shaped metal sarcophagus bristling with inward-facing spikes. Each spike pierces limbs,
Oh
shoulders.
shit, this is the worst one. The worst thing to confess to anyone. Or you break anything, or you just die. Or you break everything and you die anyway. What's the sense of it
Dies.
for you to say
Never vital
the
organs,
right?
he explains, demonstrating on a screaming victim.
you didn't
the
even
art
do,
is in
though?
prolonged suffering, not swift death. You learn to operate it with surgical precision, knowing exactly which spikes to engage for different types of confessions. By 17, you're ready for the rack, the king of torture devices. A wooden frame that stretches people like clay. Listen to their breathing, your father explains. When it gets ragged, ease off. When they start talking, tighten more. Keep them right on the edge between confessing and dying. Your first solo lesson comes at 18. A woman accused of being a witch because her neighbor's cow died. You start gentle, just showing her the tools. She denies everything. But before you can proceed, you're accused of showing unauthorized mercy. The church demands proof of your divine sanction. You're forced to undergo trial by ordeal, plunging your hand into boiling oil to prove your methods are blessed by God. The
What the
searing
shit is
agony
that?
reminds you that even torturers aren't above suspicion. When your wounds heal cleanly, you're deemed worthy to continue. Thumb screws, still denying. Then you hang her by her arms for an hour. Finally, you mention her children. Shame they had to be questioned too. Kids are so fragile. She confesses within minutes, admits to flying on broomsticks, dancing with the devil, cursing crops. All lies, but effective lies. The crowd that watches her burn cheers your success. You feel sick. Years pass. You get good at your job. Disturbingly good. Your reputation spreads. They call you the bone
So
breaker.
this way,
You
every single person could just become guilty for him and he could just make him dead? What the hell, just, if someone thinks that you're guilty and he says to this torturer, you may just be guilty because of their own opinion, not even if you are. So, this way you may make guilty anyone, yeah? What the sense of that one? What the sense of this all? If it's
perfect new
true.
techniques. Keep detailed notes like any craftsman. Subject lasted 47 minutes before confession. Recommend different approach next time. But success comes with a price. Nobody talks to you except to hire your services. Kids run when they see you coming. Even priests won't let
This
you
is
sit with
not
normal
worth
people.
it.
You're necessary but unwanted.
For
Useful but
100
unclean.
minus
You live alone
percent.
at the edge of town. Your only companions are screams that echo in your head.
For
You
minus
drink heavily,
100%.
but alcohol doesn't wash away the memories. Women won't marry you, so you find companionship with someone as hated as you are. A brothel worker who understands what it's like to be society's necessary evil. 20 years of torture later, you're the most feared man in 3 counties. Your name makes criminals weep. You've extracted thousands of confessions, sent hundreds to their deaths.
But who
But
wants
comfort
it?
is relative when your job is inflicting misery. Every night
I guess
brings
no one.
nightmares, faces of people you've broken, voices begging for mercy you couldn't give. You wake up screaming more often than your victims did. Your wife gives birth to twin boys. For the first time in years, you feel hope. Maybe they can escape this life. But hope is luxury torturers can't afford. Your hands start shaking at 40. Years of gripping tools takes its toll. One day, you miscalculate. A prisoner dies before confessing. The judge is furious. Your reputation takes a hit. More mistakes follow. Word spreads that the great bone breaker is losing his touch. There's only one solution, and you hate it more than anything. You take your eldest son aside on his 13th birthday. This is our family trade, you tell him, watching his face crumble. I didn't choose it. My father didn't choose it, and neither will you. But if you're going to survive, you need to be better than I ever
And what will
was.
you do?
He cries. He begs. He tries to run away, but 3 days later, he's back.
Why?
Hungry and defeated.
Is it really worth it to come home and do this all work? Instead of just going out and never ever coming again? Despite of how hard it is. Whoa, he just could run away from I don't know where. Live in the nature. I don't know. Maybe he's just used to live there with his parents, but I think it is not worth it because he's like in the jail of being medieval torturer.
There's nowhere to run. The family curse follows you wherever you go. So you begin his training, just as your father trained you. You see in his eyes the same death of innocence you felt all those years ago. The cycle continues.
Stop. What did you say?
choose it. My father didn't choose it, and neither will
Okay.
you. But if you're going to survive, you need to be better than I ever was. He cries, he begs, he tries to run away, but 3 days later, he's back.
He's
Hungry
back.
and defeated. There's nowhere to run. The family curse follows you wherever you go. So you begin his training.
Why does his family follow him everywhere he goes? He cannot escape his territories of his town, city.
Just as your father trained you. You see in his eyes the same death of innocence you
Village.
felt all those years ago. The cycle
Are there any
continues.
borders,
Your son
or,
learns
like,
the trade,
why?
masters the techniques, earns his own reputation. You retire to a corner of the house, hands too shaky to work. But retirement isn't freedom. It's just a different prison. You listen to
hell.
screams from below,
Second
knowing your
prison.
son is continuing the family tradition. Every cry reminds you this is your legacy, the curse you pass to another generation. You die at 52, which is old for someone in your profession. Most torturers don't live to see grandchildren. The stress, the drinking, the constant fear of revenge kills them young. But you've been lucky, if you can call any part of this life lucky. But even in your final years, there's no peace. Torturers are feared even in retirement. Villagers believe you're cursed, damned by your bloody trade. When your active service ends, you're quietly exiled to remote regions. Society's way of erasing the shame you represent. Few torturers receive pensions or land. Most are relocated far from civilization, or executed in secret to prevent their dark knowledge from spreading. Your sons bury you in the torturer's corner of the graveyard, far from decent folk, even in death. No priest says prayers over your grave. No mourners come to pay
This
respects.
is-
Just your family, carrying on a tradition that's destroyed every generation for centuries.
This is
But
one
at
of the
least it's
worst
over.
things I've ever
The
seen.
nightmares stop. The guilt ends. The
One of the
screams
worst
finally fade
job.
to silence.
Maybe the
You
worst
paid
one
your
for
debt
our
to a
century.
world that needed someone to do its dirty work,
Nowadays.
even if it hated you for doing it. Your sons, though, their story is just beginning. And somewhere in town, a 4-year-old boy
Maybe it's
is
beginning,
starting to
but-
wonder why people cross themselves when his family walks by.
Maybe torturers' kids' stories beginning, but they are gonna be the same. Fully the same. just with other souls. Alright, this video was pretty fast. I wanna thank you for watching. If you liked it, you know what to do. If you wanna see more from me, oh my god. Right, maybe I will forget it and not be thinking about it anymore. But that is not cool anymore from that century. This is bad. This is not interesting to have this job. And thankfully we live in our nowadays world. We live now in our amazing time when we are able to have these many opportunities, just whatever we want. We may become whoever we want. We have the internet, the opportunities in it, just the abilities to do whatever we only want, whatever comes into our mind, and what we want to do. I need to scale up my vocabulary to speak better and fluently, because I noticed very long ago that I speak using only words I mostly know. I don't remember any other words, and I didn't like it, because I want to be a real American person who I'm trying to be every day when I use English, but I use English almost usually every single day. I need to work on myself like everyone should on themselves, and no, I think the quality is not pretty good. But anyways, this is the ending of this video, so next video will be better. It's something maybe of the quality too, surely, because I wanna make it better. Okay, camera focused on me. Maybe I'll just edit it a little bit, but no more time to stop you here. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow. Bye.